Welcome back. You're watching DXB today. Now, of course, a big part of the back-to-school journey is choosing the right learning environment for your child. So our next guest has all the updates when it comes to what is happening within the education and schools here in the UAE. So please welcome back to the show, Leisa Grace Wilson, the Editorial Director at Teach Middle East and schoolfinder.ae. Leisa, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Perfect timing to be here, to be honest. Now, every child is unique, so every child's requirement when it comes to the sort of learning environment that they're in changes. So can you tell me the role that a platform such as Schoolfinder plays in matching the two?
Yeah, so Schoolfinder helps parents to make decisions based on facts. So the facts of the school, what the school is like in terms of their offerings, what they are like in terms of their results from inspections, what do they offer in co-curricular activities, what curriculum do they use, what exams, what are the extra enrichment opportunities for students, so that when you're making a decision, you're not going based on emotions, you're going based on facts.
Well, I wanted to ask, with the new unified academic calendar and the updates about when breaks are, is this making things easier for the people behind the scenes, or is it actually making it more complicated?
Once this initial change takes place, I think it will be a lot easier because there'll be less anxiety around when things are happening, when school's on, when they're not. With this unified calendar, everybody knows when things are happening and can make plans and work accordingly.
Yeah, I'll say our school was always the one left out. We had a completely different calendar and I could never join any trips. But Leisa, my question is, we're gonna get on AI, it's inevitable. There must be such a difficult balance between schools struggling with staying up to date with technology. There's this new school that everyone's talking about. You don't have to name it, but we all know what school we're talking about. That's like super high tech and incredibly expensive. How much are we encouraging technology, or are we going down the route of, you know, Mark Zuckerberg and all these other tech giants that are actually keeping it old school?
So it's a delicate balance. We can't ignore technology, it's pervasive, but we have to now think about well-being around technology. And we have to now think about how much is too much. And so that's where schools are trying to make sure that they're not being left behind, but they're also not disadvantaging children by putting a screen in front of them every waking hour. Because you have to understand, they're at school with screens, and then they come home and they're at home with screens. So it's all about finding that delicate balance. And it's not easy. And even myself as a mom, I'm having to grapple with how much time do I give my boys online, because their homework is now on a screen, their classwork is on a screen, and their fun is on a screen as well. So it's finding that balance, and it's tough.
How can parents work with teachers to support children's well-being, do you think? Like, what small things can they do?
So I think when it comes to the homeschool relationship, it's a partnership, and that dialogue has to remain open. And parents have to be able to communicate openly with the teacher to find out, so how are they coping? How are they feeling? Are they getting enough sleep? Are they on the tech all night? And it's creating that dialogue and that openness so that you're dealing with the individual child, because there are some kids, unfortunately, who are getting overstimulated by tech because there are a lack of boundaries. So teachers now have to maybe give a little guidance to parents that less tech at home because they have 4 hours here at school, or you know, so it's really that open dialogue that is needed.
Communication.
Now, speaking of the Schoolfinder aspect, I'm interested because when I was a kid, my parents were like, what is the closest school physically to the house? That's where we'll send him. Or the cheapest.
My parents wanted the cheapest.
We moved next to our school, just so, yeah.
So what are the main metrics parents are looking at these days when it comes to choosing a school for their child?
Yeah, so parents are now looking at affordability, they're looking at curriculum, and they're also looking at whether or not the school fits in with their ethos. So some parents are very much into tech, others aren't. Some parents are looking at, where will my child matriculate to after this? Like, which university will they be able to get in? What reputation does the school have? And let's be honest, Some parents are just looking for the most popular school where all the, the influencers send their kids or something.
It's a good place to network. The school
Like what networks will my child get into and how will that help them in life? But parents have different needs and different criteria when they're choosing schools. I mean, if I speak from my personal experience, I'm looking at, okay, is the school one that my child will thrive in, or will they just get lost in the mix? And so it's different strokes for different folks, really.
Lisa, you mentioned affordability. So just a quick question. Was there news out lately that they were going to make schools more affordable? Did I imagine that?
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
What's the deal there? Do you know the inside? Do you have the inside scoop?
I don't have the inside scoop.
You're like, I have the Google scoop.
But I have a few little scoopettes. I think what's being said is that Dubai needs to become more affordable. And so the KHD and the government are looking at how they can incentivize school operators to make schools more affordable, maybe by donating land or, certain other incentives that will bring in people or providers that will make schools not only quality, but affordable quality.
Absolutely. I mean, because we're at the stage now in the expansion of this country where people are being born and raised here and we are growing talent rather than just importing talent from outside. So without naming any favorites, I'd like you to give us some schools, maybe like the Arbor School, the sustainability school, that are doing unique things in the country.
Oh, you're getting me into trouble.
Just a few off the top of your head, not your favorites.
I cannot. So with the work I do at Teach Middle East, I work with all the schools, and I think every school in their own way are doing as best as they can.
But which one's the worst? No, I'm joking.
You are not getting me into trouble today. No, sir.
Lisa, I wanted to ask you not just about parents who are freshly enrolling their child in the big school, but also parents who want to change schools mid-year. How smooth is that process? Is it easy to do so?
It's really hard to do so. Most schools, most really good schools, are operating on a waiting list. And so for you to switch schools now, you would have to be extremely lucky to find a space. So I would say choose wisely when you're choosing, because switching might not be so easy. Not right now anyway. When there are more choices in the market, as schools are coming on board a lot more, then maybe it'll become easier. But for right now, you might want to hang out.
Yeah.